Good morning everyone. In today's video you will be learning about SQL commands. So before getting to know what are SQL commands, let us understand the term SQL. SQL is nothing but it is a database software, okay, which helps us to develop the database, create the database. SQL stands for structured query language. Here we pass certain commands or instructions which help it to communicate with the database that we have developed. It also performs a few of the tasks such as creating the database, deleting, updating, modifying, setting the permissions to the users, and so on. So here are the list of 5 types of SQL commands. The basic are 3 types, and TCL and DQL are also the commands of the SQL. DDL command, DML command, DCL command, TCL and DQL. The term DDL, it stands for DDL stands for data definition language. The term DDL stands for data definition language. Okay. In this we have 4 commands which are create, drop, alter and truncate. In the DML, it stands for data manipulation language. It's nothing but inserting the data, updating the data, deleting the data. That is nothing but manipulation of the data takes place. DCL, data control language. Here we have the options such as granting and revoking the permissions to the users through which we can control our data. And TCL is nothing but transaction control language, where if a particular transaction is carrying out, we will be having the options like committing. Commit is nothing but saving the particular transaction. Rollback means whatever the transaction has taken place, that has to be rolled back. And save point, at particular checkpoint list. Okay, checkpoints we will be saving it. So and so save points we will be making so that to review it later in the near future. And DQL, it's nothing but it as well as comes under DML only, but here it has been uh, classified as data query language. Here it will help us to query the data in the form that we require. So let us try to understand the first type of command, that is nothing but data definition language, that is DDL. Okay, it changes the structure of the table like creating and deleting, altering the table, truncating. Create command, by the term create, you can easily understand that here we are creating the table. Drop, by the term drop, you are easily able to understand that we are dropping the table. Altering, making the changes to the structure of the table. And truncate is nothing but we are completely deleting the table, and even the memory space will be released. Coming, we have each one of them syntaxes are also available over here. So the create command, as it goes like this, I would like to even show you the execution part. Let us go to the MySQL where we can create our own database. So this is the MySQL 8.0 version, command line client. Okay, so here the first command I will be using is, I will be checking if suppose you are the first time user at this software, then you will be using a command called as show databases. This show databases will help you to identify all the databases that are there into your MySQL 8.0 version. Okay, how many databases you have created, that everything will be displayed to you. Now, if at all suppose I want to create my own database, then I will be using a command called as create database. Database name is, suppose, trial. My database name I want to give as trial. So with this command, it is nothing but create keyword, database keyword, and followed by trial. Trial is the name of the database. Okay. So now the query has been executed, means if I again execute the previous command, the trial will also be included into my database. So let me use my database, which is trial, and create few of the tables into it. Okay, so now basically I am into the database called as trial, and I will be using few of the uh, creation of the tables into it. So first we were looking into the create command. Create table. My table name, suppose I want to use it as student. Okay, and students basically have the syntax, how it goes: create table student, and followed by the column names and the data type names. One second. So the syntax over here is create table, table name, column name, and data types. So here we are creating an example of employee, but there I was creating the example of the student database, student table, right? So let us take the column names as std underscore id, and it goes with the integer. Next we have s name. It goes with the variable characters, because names are always stored in the characters. Okay, suppose I want to store only these two things, and later on I want to assign a primary key. Primary key is a key which is unique in nature, whose value cannot be duplicate, and which cannot be null. So I want to make my column stud underscore id as the primary key, right? So here it goes, and my table has been created. So let us see number of tables that are available in our database. I will use a command called as describe student. So it will help me to find out the description of my table. Okay, number of fields, I have two fields as I have created here: student id and student name. So those two fields has been displayed over here. Data types we are having as integer and varchar. Varchar stands for variable character, and the maximum size that I've given for the student name is 20. Then null characters, which can be taken as null and which cannot be taken as null, and so on. And we have assigned a primary key called as stdid. Okay, now this is the create command. Now let us go back to the explanation part. So here you might have understood about this creation. Drop I will show by the end of the video today. Drop is nothing but deleting both the structure and as well as the records of data which are stored in the table. Okay, it completely means just now I have created the table. The structure of the table has been created. There are no more data into it. There is no more data. We have just created it a blank table. So when I use a drop, even the data, if at all, if it is available also, that will also be lost. This command we will be executing at the end of the video. Now the next command is the alter command. Alter, by the name itself you are able to understand that it is going to make certain changes, okay, or it is going to modify the characteristics of an existing attribute, or probably adding a new attribute, deleting, modifying. Okay, all those alterations we can do to an existing table. So the command that goes over here is alter table, table name, add column, column definition. So for modifying, we use a column as modify column and its definition. So here we have an example. Let us apply the same to our existing table. So when I come back to my table, I would like to apply the alter command. Alter table. First we will apply the add command. Add I want to add the address column to the students, and whose data type is varchar, varchar of 10, right? Table, okay, table name is missing over there. Table name is student, add address varchar of 10. So the query is executed, the query has executed properly. Now the next command that we are going to apply is modify to an existing one. Suppose I want to increase the size of the student name to 15 characters. So at that time I can use over here a command called as modify, and there in the student name I will use here, so student name is already there, huh? Student name to 20 already there, no? 25, right? So it has modified. Now if I again apply the description, if I want to see the modifications changes, so you can easily find over here address has been added with the alter command, okay, and the size of the student name has been affected to 25 by using the alter command. Okay, hope it is clear to everyone. Now coming back to truncate, what does truncate do? Truncate also applies the same application of the deleting of the all the rows along with the space contained by the table. There are set of records that has been taken some of the space inside the memory. That space will also be deleted with the help of the truncate. Truncate table name. I will do even this command at the end of this video. Now, so that was the data definition language. Data which is defining, which is giving the structure to our the structure that is being created to the data, that is nothing but the outer structure of the table, which is created by using the ddl command. Now coming to the data manipulation language, as the term is easily very clear, manipulation is nothing but changes applied. Data manipulation language. DML commands are used to modify the database. Okay, modification in the terms of insertions, updations, deletions. These are nothing but modifications. So all these modifications can be applied to our databases and the data. And DML command is not auto committed. That means it can't permanently save all the changes in the database. They can be rolled back. Okay, it is not auto committed, it is only for temporary basis, and it cannot roll, and they can be rolled back. Coming to the application, insert is nothing but here we insert the data into the rows of the table. Insert into table name, column names, value. Here we have two syntaxes for it. You can go with both of them. Okay, let us execute them now by using each one of them, right? So here you will be seeing now the application of insertion. The first syntax used for the insertion operation is insert into my table name is student. Okay, I will use the column names. What are the column names? stud underscore id, comma, first column. Second column is student name, comma, and third column name is address. To this I'm applying the values. I'm adding now the values, that is nothing but the records, the data of this student table. So let us give the stud id. It is of integer type. Yes, what is the data type of the stud id? Integer. Integer is nothing but numerical values. So let me give the roll number of the student as suppose 1001. Okay, and s name, we can give any of the names of the students, like let me give over here as abc student name. or you can give any of the names. Aslam, one of my student. Then address, if he belong to Hyderabad, I'll give Hyderabad. So likewise, I have inserted three details, one record and three fields, three columns of the single table. So likewise, my first row has been inserted. This is one way of inserting the value. The second way is just modify the second name if you want to apply it. Okay, suppose Kishore is there and he belong to UP, Uttar Pradesh, right? Second row has been inserted. This is one syntax for applying the insert operation. The next syntax is here I will not be needing the column names. I am omitting the column names. I will be directly going with the keyword called as values and making the modifications as 3. Kishore is already entered. Suppose Sandhya, she belong to Delhi. Okay, and I'm putting. Now, this is another syntax of insert command. Okay, we are just simplifying our syntax from removing the column names and just continuing the same syntax with the values and the values keyword and the rest of the values whatever we are going to input. Now the logic over here comes now. Just observe my changes whatever I'm trying to make. I want to make the changes only to the name and the address. I want to keep the roll number same as it is because I want to show you something over here. What is it? Let us see. Suppose another student and he belonged to somewhere Madras. Okay, now if I enter over here, I'm getting an error called as duplicate entry 1003 for key student dot primary. Means it is telling me that the importance of primary key. Primary key, wherever it is being applied to our student ID, I'm applying it as a primary key. So it is telling me that duplicate entry is happening because Sandhya is already taking 1003. So the new student cannot take the same roll number. I hope the definition of the primary key is clear to everyone now. Primary key is a unique key which cannot be duplicate, which cannot be same, or which cannot be null. It is always unique in nature, whose values cannot be same at all. So the changes that I would like to apply over here is 4 and the rest of the details. So now the execution has done properly. In the last record I would like to input totally 5 records I would be implementing into it. Now the same thing I will show you, same name, let it be there, whether it is accepting or not, you see the changes. Okay, name is same but the place has been changed. You try to see here whether it is acceptable or not. Okay, because we have assigned the primary key only to the single column, that is student ID, and not to the student name. So student name can be repeated. There can be uh, there can be 2 or more students in the same class, yes, with the same name. So that has been displayed to you, so it is acceptable. So this was the third command, sorry, this was the insert command. Now hope it is clear to you. We have gone through the insertion. Now let us go back to the next command, which is called as now updation. Now the next command is update. Update, as the term it is there, it is going to update the existing value inside the table. The values are already available, just we are trying to update it. And then we have the delete command, delete, where a particular row or a particular value will be deleted. So let us see these two things now into the execution part. So you will be trying to understand here how does update apply. So for that, before that, I would like to use over here my DQL command, that is select option, so that I can show you the complete table. Select star from student. Okay, so this is my table. From this I want to update. What I want to update? I want to update the name that is applied as Kishore as Kishore Verma. Okay, I want to update the name of the student as Kishore to Kishore Verma. So let me use a command called as update student set s name, the column name where we are going to update. Okay, column name is s name, single quotes, Kishore Verma where. Okay, if I don't use here where condition, it will be applied to all of the records. I will show even that modification to you now. Where stud underscore id is nothing but condition. Where student id is equal to 1002, only that particular record has to be updated. So you will be seeing here update student set s name is equal to Kishore Verma where std id is equal to 1002. Now if you see the table, the name of the Kishore from previously it was only Kishore, now it has been updated to Kishore Verma. Now I want to apply the complete updation, but I cannot do it in this table. I will apply it in the next table where I will show you that. Now suppose I want to delete any one of the record. Okay, then I will be using the command called as delete. Delete the complete record, the complete row will be deleted over here. Okay, before deleting that, I would like to show you one more small change by using the update command. Update, suppose I want to change this up to empty set. Okay, first I want to make the address of Kishore Verma as empty, as a null value. Let me do that. Update student set address is equal to null, nothing, it's empty. Okay, where s name, sorry, s roll number, no, stud underscore id is equal to 1002. So now the Kishore Verma address will be set blank, it will not be showing as up. You can see the modification over here, right? I have removed the name of the address for Kishore Verma. Now I would like to delete the same record. So here I will be using a command called as delete from student. Student is nothing but the table name. Delete from table name where condition. What is the condition? Stud id is equal to 1002. Yeah, means only single record will be deleted. So you can see here one query has been affected, and if I look at the table, 1002 has been deleted. It is no more available to you in your data. So this was about that. So we have completely covered the DDL command and the DML command. Okay, now we are moving to DCL command. DCL is nothing but data control language. DCL commands are for granting and revoking, means granting the permission or the access privileges to the users of the database, the syntax over here, it goes like this. Okay, suppose I want to give few of the users of my database the options as select, update on so and so table to some user, another user. Okay, so at that time I can give the user so and so permissions. Similarly, if I want to take back whatever permissions we have allotted to user 1, user 2 and so on, that wanted to be taken back, so at that time we can go with the command called as revoke. Revoke is for taking back the permissions of the users. So under DCL we have only two commands, that is grant and revoke. Now coming to the TCL command, transaction control language, here we are going to apply it purely on the DML commands. Okay, TCL commands can only use with the DML commands, that is insert, delete and update. So how is it going to apply? Let us see. Commit, rollback and save points are the three TCL commands. Here commit means saving it, saving all the transactions of the database. Means so far in my execution, if you have remembered, we have inserted, we have updated, we have deleted. So all those transactions, if I want to make them as saving, so I can use a command called as commit, rollback. Just write a statement as commit and semicolon, that's it. It will be committed. Rollback means whatever you have saved, it will be undo. All the transactions will be undone, and it will not be able to save your data. And finally, save point. If at all you want to make some checkpoints, like today so and so transactions has been carried forward, so those transactions will be saved uh, as a numerical number 1 or alphabetical value as a, okay, like that. For understanding to the user, it will be used. And the last and the foremost, DQL language, data query language, is to fetch the data from the database. If at all I want to view the data from the database, I will be using a command called as select. This is same as the projection operation that will be applied in the algebra, relational algebra. So just now we have make use of this. Okay, let me go back to the execution part and share few of the commands and its executions. Now over here I would like to first to show you the select command only. This is your DQL command, data query language. So here I want to select only the student ID and their addresses without seeing the names. So I will use the parameters as studid, comma, address from my student, my table name is student. Okay, so you will be able to see only the two columns. The third column is not being displayed because I did not select the name over here. So now you can understand the difference between the usage of the star, which is also called as asterisk, select star from student, and here we have something called as select student ID and address. If at all you want to display only the roll numbers and the student names, so if you are going with this, these two things will be displayed to you. Right now, if I did not use the drop and delete and truncate command, let us do that one. Before that, I would like to apply the commit command to show you that how the commit will be executed. Commit means whatever we have done, the insertions, updations, deletions, everything will be saved. Okay, if I use over here again the rollback, means whatever we have done, it will be rolled back. It will be rolled back. So that will also be executed. Save point, if suppose I want to use a point, this point I want to make a save point myself. Okay, I want to give the name that I have made the save point at by giving a save point name as Rubina. So that's it, it will be going with it, right? Likewise, so these are your TCL commands: commit, rollback and save point. And finally I would like to use now here delete command. delete. We have done, I think so, for deleting the Kishore Verma's record. Now I'll use delete for completely. No, delete anyways, you have got it. So let me show once again. Delete from student where stud underscore id is equal to 1001, means first record will be deleted. Okay, now if you go back and check your table, Aslam's record has been deleted because 1001 was Aslam over here, right? Now if I use the truncate, if I use the truncate option, so now we are using the truncate command. Truncate table student. Meaning of truncate, if you remember, what does truncate do? It deletes that complete table along with the memory that has been allocated for storing this 1003, 1004, 1005, Sandhya, Gauss. Okay, all these things will be deleted permanently. So query has been deleted. Now if I want to use the select option and try to see my table, nothing will be visible to us. Empty set. Okay, now I want to confirm whether my table is available in my database or not. So I will use a command called as show tables. So it will show me a table name which is called as student, means the structure, the outer structure, the description of the table is still available, but the inside data has been completely deleted, truncated. So if you can see here, the structure of the table is available with you, but the data has been lost. We have deleted complete data from our existing table. Now suppose if you want to remove even the table as student, there is my trial is my database name where I have created one student table. I want to delete even the student table. So for that I will be using a command called as drop table student. Done. So it has executed. Now if you want to use the same show tables, there are no more tables available to you in your database and it is completely empty. Means whatever we have executed, all the commands so far, everything has been truncated, deleted, rolled back. Okay, so everything has been lost because we have dropped our table. Dropping is nothing but it will drop the table entirely along with the data as well. Suppose I might have applied the drop option here only where I have these three records, okay, rather than using the truncate option. If I used here the drop command at that time along with these three records, even the structure of the table would have been deleted. So this was today's video where we have understood the basic SQL commands, which are DDL commands, DML, DCL. TCL will be, we have seen commit rollback and the save point. Okay, DCL commands we haven't seen because grant and revoke, it will be used in the big databases where where we are having more than one user and we need to grant the permissions, take back the permissions over there, right? So hope the concept is clear to everyone. If you have any doubts, just rewind the video, see it again, once again, so that you can get the clarification. If not, contact me, comment me, and update me how far, how much you have understood this video. Thank you so much.